Hey everyone, Qualcomm stock price has been absolutely soaring year to date in 2024, and given its position in the growth of artificial intelligence, a lot of investors are getting interested in Qualcomm stock. So in this video, I'm going to go over some of their highlights and some of the things that every investor that's curious about Qualcomm stock, these are the things they should know. I want to thank the Motley Fool for sponsoring this video. Visit fool.com/Parkev for the 10 best stocks to buy now. All right, so one of the things Qualcomm's been doing is going beyond handsets. So beyond handsets or smartphones, they have established leadership positions across automotive, virtual reality, networking, and now they're well positioned to do the same in personal computers, industrial, and edge artificial intelligence. Now, for the near term, the area I'm most excited about for Qualcomm is the personal computer. Their new Snapdragon will launch inside AI PCs in 2024, and that could be a solid growth engine for Qualcomm right as the personal computing industry is going through one of its largest replacement cycles in its history. So I'm most optimistic about that in the near term, and then longer term, of course, industrial and edge AI will likely be bigger markets for Qualcomm. All right, going on, the company delivered $9.4 billion in revenue in the latest quarter, with earnings per share of $2.44, both of which were above the high end of the company's guidance for the quarter. So they came in thinking they were going to deliver a certain amount of revenue and profitability. Turns out they did better than expected, which is not rare for companies operating in the AI segment or companies with exposure to artificial intelligence and generative AI, as Qualcomm is with the smartphone. The latest smartphone launch with the Snapdragon in Android really helped boost the company in the near term. And so these companies are seeing that artificial intelligence is much better than expected in terms of sales, revenue, profits. We were enthusiastic coming into the year. Turns out we weren't enthusiastic enough. So, like I highlighted, the company saying that they achieved strength across handset and automotive. Flagship launch of an Android smartphone launched and powered by their Snapdragon generative mobile platform. This helped boost sales for handsets in the most recent quarter. But the bigger growth driver, in terms of just rate of growth, not revenue overall, was the automotive segment. Now, it's still a smaller part of the business overall, but the growth rate of 35% was much faster than the company's overall revenue growth rate in the quarter. And this is reflecting increased content in new vehicles with the Snapdragon digital chassis product. Now, newer vehicles are coming out with more and more tech content inside, powered by more technology, delivering more technology, and that's all helping Qualcomm. It's gained significant wins in terms of contract value. It has a $45 billion backlog in its automotive segment. And so that's going to start turning into larger and larger quarterly revenue numbers for Qualcomm's automotive segment. All right, so one of their recent acquisitions was Veoneer, and a part of that team, the Arriver team, is executing on the development of their computer vision and drive policy ADAS software stack. In other words, driverless technology for vehicles. And they're targeting vehicle launches starting in late 2025. Now, I know you've heard a lot of hype about driverless car technology, much of it being driven by Tesla and Elon Musk with his wild claims that have so far not been proven. But it doesn't have to be full self-driving for Qualcomm to benefit from driverless car technology. Every incremental step towards that is helping companies like Qualcomm. You have adaptive cruise control, lane assist, where it keeps your car in the lane, where it helps you manage cruise control, adjusting the speed higher and lower, while you still have to keep your hands on the steering wheel, but you may not have to keep your feet on the gas and brake pedal. There's also some help with parallel parking. There's some emergency braking, etc., etc. So each incremental step forward in driverless car technology really helps companies like Qualcomm because you need more and more technology inside the vehicle to execute on those vehicle features. And we'll progress slowly in reaching this driverless car technology with these, emergency braking, parallel parking, cruise control, lane assist, and then there might be others. And then slowly we'll arrive at the point where we will have full self-driving cars. And I mean broadly available, not just in a few cities, in a few models, under certain conditions, right? I mean broadly available. You do have driverless cars on the roads, but it's not broadly available at all times in many cities and many states. And so it's kind of rare right now. Okay, so Qualcomm's forecast for phone, handset, smartphones for the global 3G, 4G, and 5G handset units remains unchanged for 2024. They estimate handset units will be flat to up slightly year-over-year basis. That means it's either going to be 0% growth or maybe 1% growth, or at the most 2% growth year-over-year in terms of total handset units. This includes the growth of high single digits to low double digits for 5G handsets. That means 5G handsets are going to grow something like 8, 9, 10, 11% year over year. And then 4G and 3G are likely going to decline combined by that same magnitude, 9, 10, 11%. And they're going to offset to end the year flat in terms of total handset growth. All right, here's some of the exciting stuff for Qualcomm. Of course, not this next part, but right after this. First, they're anticipating handset revenues to decline by mid-single percentage sequentially, reflecting a seasonal trend due to the absence of flagship handset launches in the quarter. In other words, in the previous quarter, there was a flagship, a popular phone that was released with Qualcomm Snapdragon. In the current quarter that's upcoming, it's not going to include that, so the revenue is going to be lower because it's missing that big product launch. Okay, here's the exciting part. Sorry to lead you on a little bit earlier. We expect that Qualcomm automotive revenues to grow by low double-digit percentage quarter over quarter as the increase in our design win pipeline continues to materialize into revenue. I mentioned earlier that they had a $45 billion pipeline in this category, and that was up from $30 billion in September of 2022. So from September of 2022 up to its latest quarter, that pipeline increased by $15 billion. So they're growing orders way more quickly than they're generating revenue in that segment, and that's always suggestive of an increasing quarterly revenue growth rate for the company. So certainly something exciting for Qualcomm stock investors to keep their eye out for upcoming in 2024 and beyond. Before I let you go, let me tell you about the greatest deal on YouTube. With just a click of a button, you can get free financial analysis from a professor with decades of investing experience. So what are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you again soon.